Costa Rica has no shortage of natural places to explore, and through our adventures we discovered much of what these locations had to offer. However, we searched for wildlife everywhere we went, and some of our most exciting encounters took place right in our own backyard. Many of these experiences involved Costa Rica's lesser-known bird species, and though they may appear to be commonplace, these species are certainly more than meets the eye. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at some of Costa Rica's most unique avian residents and the adaptations they've acquired to deal with the challenges of ever-present human expansion. So if you're ready, let's take a look at the avian oddities that call Costa Rica home. One of the very first birds that we encountered on our Costa Rica trip was also one of the most unique, the double-striped thick-knee. This unusual bird is part of the stone curlew family, which is a type of wading bird. They are named for the prominent set of stripes that can be seen on their head and for their strong, stilt-like legs. They can be found throughout Central America and the northern part of South America, and they primarily inhabit open grassy plains and savannas. The double-striped thick-knee is mostly insectivorous, but will feed on small vertebrates such as lizards or frogs. This species is what's known as crepuscular, meaning that it is most active during dawn and dusk hours, but they will feed during the night as well. We started our birding expeditions around 5 a.m. while in Costa Rica, so we were lucky enough to catch up with several of these interesting little birds as we began our morning's hike. This curious little plover is the southern lapwing, one of the more common species we encountered on our trip. Southern lapwings are found across much of Central and South America, from Costa Rica down through the southernmost tip of South America. They primarily inhabit open grasslands, though they're notorious for moving into human settlements such as farms and pastures. In fact, it's even common to find these guys on airstrips and sports fields. Southern lapwings are highly territorial and will defend their nests ferociously from any manner of potential predator through a number of special displays. We were actually able to observe one of their most fascinating behaviors, the creation of false nests. To protect their nest and chicks, southern lapwings will actually build vacant nests around the real one, and when threatened, they will run to these fake nests to confuse predators. This behavior is a perfect example of a dymatic display, that is, a defensive tactic that involves bluffing to throw off a predator. This creative defense mechanism has allowed southern lapwings to move into more exposed areas, including human settlements. As common as they may be, however, they were no less exciting to see on our Costa Rican adventure. One group of birds that was well represented in Costa Rica was the rails, a diverse family that is found all over the world. The first species we encountered was the gray-necked wood rail, a relatively common species found throughout Central and South America. They prefer lowland rainforests with dense vegetation, and they will live in mangrove areas as well. Gray-necked wood rails are omnivorous and feed on a wide variety of invertebrates, seeds, and fruits. The other species we came across was the purple gallinule, one of the most stunning birds in Costa Rica. They are distributed from the southeastern United States through Central America, and can be found in South America as well. They live primarily around water, inhabiting swamps, marshes, and river systems, typically with plenty of cover from vegetation. Like other rails, the purple gallinule is an omnivore, and they consume insects, fish, and fruits. Both the males and females are adorned with striking colors, and we were able to observe many of them around the area where we were staying, including some adorable chicks. The purple gallinule instantly became a favorite of ours after observing their unique coloration and fascinating antics, and watching them interact as a family was one of the highlights of our trip. Costa Rica is a veritable paradise for bird lovers, and no matter where you travel in the country, you are guaranteed to encounter a plethora of interesting species. Aside from the many plentiful birds, it is also rather typical to come across species that in other parts of the world are considered more uncommon, such as rails and thick-knees. This is a testament to the ecological richness of Costa Rica, but also a reflection of one of the greatest threats to the region, human encroachment on natural habitats. Though it may not have been obvious, every one of the species featured in this episode was filmed in a disturbed habitat, an area that has been transformed by people. In fact, we encountered almost all of these birds on a farm where we were staying. Humans push farther and farther into the world's wild places every day to meet the demands of a constantly growing population, and this expansion has brought thousands of species literally to our doorsteps. With these birds, it is not quite so much of an issue, as they can readily adapt to urban environments and pose no threat to people. But what happens when we expand to a river filled with crocodiles or a rainforest home to venomous snakes? It is our responsibility to monitor our expansion as humans in a sustainable manner, because once we push too far into natural ecosystems, there's no telling what that conflict can cause. Luckily, Costa Rica has taken great strides to protect immense amounts of habitat for wildlife, which has allowed the country's biodiversity to flourish. If you enjoyed learning about these fascinating and unusual birds, be sure to leave a like on the video and tell us in the comments what else you're excited for from Costa Rica. And remember to subscribe to the Wildlife Brothers now so you don't miss any of our content coming out very soon. See you later, guys!